BYU and Arizona, in a way, long-standing rivalry because of regional ties, and your teams are familiar with each other. But obviously, you want to pay the Cougars back when you get them on your home field. So how do you view the relationship that Arizona has with BYU and game number 5 on the schedule?
Obviously, because of how this past game went in the last season, we want to get our get back. But other than that, it's just we want to win every game. So you know what I'm saying.
How do you explain the culture of Arizona football right now?
It's a bunch of fun-loving dudes who just want to work hard, man. We kind of got a chip on our shoulder because the expectations from last year were super high and didn't really get met. So this year we need to bounce back.
How has that motivated your offseason?
Big time, big time, big time. It's a lot to sit there and think about, but it's real, right? You got to be real with yourself. You got to look back and reflect on things you like, things you didn't like, and just build from it.
When you consider expectations and no preseason poll, how do you kind of build the chip on the shoulder or gain that edge when you don't see a poll that says, well, Arizona's picked 12th or 10th or 8th or whatever? So how do you work through something like that when there is no preseason poll?
I think the biggest piece, right, is who you have on your team. So we kind of have dudes who are still here from last year who are a bit bitter from how the past season went. And then we just added a bunch of guys who are hungry, like looking to win, looking to make something for themselves.
Coach Brennan and Coach Kalani Sitake have a great relationship. They go way back. So what have your observations been of the mutual respect that those two have for each other?
Oh, they're awesome, man. They both speak highly of each other, and you can tell that they're good friends. You can tell.
What's the best part of playing football in Tucson?
Probably the community, honestly. The community is crazy out there. Shout out to everybody who's supporting. They're great.
As Arizona looks to take the step forward and you juxtapose the offseason last year with this one, you talked about some of the changes you're seeing. Like, how do you take the extra effort and turn that into more wins?
Belief, and consistent work and discipline. I think those are the 3 biggest things, honestly.
Discipline is something that BYU fans and players can certainly resonate with because of sometimes a stricter culture that they have. So what do you see from BYU when you play against a team like the Cougars in regard to discipline and how they approach the game of football?
I mean, I feel it's similar to every other team, right? You mean do your best to execute on plays, and obviously they out-executed us, so they got us there in this past year. But I feel like that's pretty general across the board, just execution piece.
What does Arizona football do best right now?
Work hard. We work hard and we stay together. That's probably the biggest thing because, like I was telling you, the culture, just having fun, like loving each other, that's what it is for me.
How do you balance off-season and maybe a little bit of downtime with knowing that, hey, we got to keep working, we got to do that? Like, how do you balance that? Because it's tricky.
Yeah, it is a little bit tricky sometimes. We work really hard, man. I think the biggest thing is just to know that you got to get off your feet when it's time to get off your feet. Like, there's time to work, and then there's time where you got to get off your feet and relax a little bit. You don't need to be playing rec basketball or anything like that. Just chill.
I mentioned that BYU and Arizona have somewhat of a regional rivalry. Your real rival is Arizona State. For those that don't know, especially in the BYU community, what the rivalry is like with Arizona State, how would you explain that between bear down and forks up?
Yeah, I'll be honest. So my introduction was this past year. This is my second year here now. And it's real, man. You got Chuck Cecil. He's the greatest. He's one of the greatest human beings ever. Just a great heart. But he was telling us all about it, and then obviously we got to experience it for the first time, and it's there.
All right, let's finish with this. When you mentioned the game in Provo last year, but how much does that actually matter when you're considering things that haven't happened yet when BYU faces Arizona on October 11th?
Well, yeah, it's a new season, so anything can happen any given day. Best team doesn't always win. It's a team that plays the best. So however you want to take that.
Okay, lad, I got one more. Noah Fafita is a special player. What impresses you most about your quarterback at Arizona?
His character. Without it, I didn't even have to think. As soon as you said it, his character. He's a great human being on and off the field. Like, he's a person that I think a lot of us should model after from the bottom of my heart.
Wow, follow-up there. Why is that? What is it that he does that makes you offer such a lofty compliment?
He's just sincere. He's very genuine when he speaks to you. He checks up on you. He talks to everybody. He cares about everybody. He does things like pick up trash, holds the door. Like, all the things that you would imagine a human should do the right way, he does them all the right way.
Wow, fantastic stuff. We appreciate the insight and the time. Thanks so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.